You guys, let me tell you, I told you they pulled my credit on the 14th or something like that, the 12th or the 14th. This later is dated April the 17th. To me, they had the decision. They didn't tell me. Welcome back to my channel. I am Chawanne Burns. Please click that like button and that subscribe button. So today I'm going to talk about the events that happened to me over the weekend and my contact with the SBA and what transpired from there. So over the weekend, I decided to call the SBA, which was Saturday morning. The lady that answered the phone, she said, okay, let me transfer you. We do have a tier 2 representative there. Let me transfer you. Now, I'm going to link at the end of this video. I have had communications with the tier 2. She informed me my application was not approved for the loan. And she told me I would need to wait to receive a letter, either the mail or email, communicating what those reasons were. I asked her, hey, I've been calling for about a month. Why haven't anyone told me? She claims that they didn't have access to that information. They probably just updated the system. She told me I need to wait for this letter saying what were the reasons. So miraculously, after I hung up from her, I received a letter from the SBA through my email. It reads as this: in these unprecedented times, we understand the challenges that you are facing. SBA is making every effort to support small businesses, which are the backbone of America economy. Unfortunately, although we have made every effort to approve your loan request, we are unable to offer you the EIDL for the reasons described below. We are pleased that we are able to give you the advance under the program, even though unable to provide you the loan. We hope that the advance funds will provide some relief in these difficult circumstances. And in bold, they have unsatisfactory credit history. We evaluated your credit report and related information. Based on the information we obtained, we are regretfully unable to approve your application. We base this decision on Experian. So if you haven't had your credit pulled from Experian through the SBA, they are using Experian credit report. So prior to this, I've already made some provisions. I pulled my credit report. I saw there was some things that should have been taken off and they're still on there. My credit is not the best, but I do have it's 609 with Experian. They were saying that you need a 570. So I'm not for sure what the breakdown was or what was definitive answer for them to deny my application. But I could tell you, me being transparent, I did have 2 charge-offs from Bank of America on there and one collection account on there. Bank of America, and it should have been listed as paid in full. So I have to dispute that of how they're reporting that. Another thing that I have 2 kids. One of the kids, before COVID-19 happened, one of my children, my oldest child, Cannon has really bad asthma. Back in January, I was out and about and my husband called me. He said, you know, he's crying. He won't let me give him the treatment. And he said his face is all red and all this stuff. I called this doctor and I said, Cannon's never said he can't breathe before. So it automatically scared me. So it's like, okay, take him to the urgent care. So they ran some tests. They did a nasal swab and they said, oh, he has a respiratory virus. Now this is before COVID-19 happened. So the doctor said, hey, you could go home, but I suggest you to go to the hospital and let them put you on observation. So I said that to say, when I pulled my credit report, my car company, they reported that I paid my car note late 3 months in a row. And this is after I already talked to my car company. And I explained, actually, I did make some payments, but they were partial payments. You could call them and say, hey, I'm not able to make the payments. Can I pay the minimum amount? They will allow you to pay the minimum amount, and then that count as a payment. This is my third car that I purchased through this same lender, okay? This is recent. I'm assuming this is really affecting my credit. So since I sent the letter of goodwill to see if I could get those late payments removed from my credit report. If you guys want a copy of this, just let me know. I'll put the guy's information where I got this letter from. It normally only works if you have like 1 or 2 missed payments or 1 missed payment, and then everything else is good. But I had 3 missed payments in a row. So, because I sent this off weeks ago, I should hear something back from them maybe by next week. So once I receive something back, my credit report actually already increased. Since then, it increased by 35 points since the SBA pulled my credit. If you disagree with your decision, you request a reconsideration subject to availability of funds. Mail your request. You can mail your request. I highly suggest don't do that. Don't mail it. You can fax it in. Oh, it says no later than 6 months from the date of this letter. Like I said, this letter is dated for April the 17th, 2020. You're saying that you tried hard to approve this my credit, approve my funds, and you couldn't do it. But why would you date the letter April the 17th? They should have dated the letter for like today, right? Or the date that week that I received it. So you already had a decision. You had this letter written out. I've addressed the credit issues to see if those are going to be removed. Hopefully, I will know by next week if those are going to be removed. Then I could pull my credit report again to see if my credit looks better. Go through some of the comments that you put on my last video. Shell Washington said they pay those people to just tell us we have to wait and give us the run around. Wow. You're right, Shell. They just are getting paid to do nothing. She also has experienced the same issue. They said it was open back up. They sent me a message saying it was open to the agriculture businesses. When I called, they said I need to email the SBA to dispute the app for reconsideration. Meanwhile, planting season is passing by me. Well, I'm sending all my good to you, Shell. And that's unfortunate because we know if you're in the agriculture business, this is the time that you should be planting. So I'm sending all my love to you. Hopefully, everything will work out. Shell, let me know. Did you actually? So you didn't receive the email. That's what I'm getting from your conversation or your comment. You didn't receive the email yet, but you called and they told you were denied. I'm sorry. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Karina Grudzitsky or Grutsky. I applied back on April the 4th and I have not gotten a grant nor a loan. I called and I'm told that it's being processed. Yeah, I would like to know if you are actually getting approved because April the 4th is pretty far. Hey, you guys, there's a website called Skip. I'm going to link it in my description section. You could go on this Skip. It's a free service, but there is paid services too. But you could put it's self-reporting. You could put your loan application number in, and it could tell you about how many applicants is above you or before you. Okay, so I'll link that in the comment section. Craig Wright says, I hear the same thing every time I call. Also, I have resorted to getting the application called the Congress and finding my representative, giving them my info and having them to reach out to the SBA as well. He said, best of luck to y'all. Okay. Yeah, Craig, you're absolutely right. You need to reach out to your state representative and your local government because, hey, they passed this bill. It's their fault, that they're not managing this stuff correctly. Everyone's confused. Like, what is the approval and the denial process? Jennifer Edwards said, I applied on 3/21. That's crazy. And 3/30. So Jennifer must have applied when it was a long form application. Then you applied again with a short form application. 8 weeks to the day, received loan portal email and have not received the loan documents. That is crazy, Jennifer. That is unbelievable. And she writes, unbelievable. It is. Yeah, Jennifer, I think you might want to reach out. If you haven't called, ask for a tier 2 representative. Call the SBA to see where in the world is your loan document, especially if you already have been approved, because they should have been released your funding. Hey, time is of the essence right now. We haven't received, the government shut you down, and you haven't been able to sell anything. So you need funding. You need funding to stay afloat, or you're going to be out of business. So you need to hold your government officials accountable for this, okay? Barry Smith said, at least you got the advance. I didn't get mine yet, and I applied for April the 5th with my first application in the 33, but I did get the stimulus check, and I'm grateful for that. Yeah, that's really good that you got the stimulus check, but still, you should have received the advance by now. Like I said, I'm going to link that skip, and it's sponsored by YoGov. They do have a YouTube channel. You could put in your loan application number, and it will give you like an estimate of when you're in the queue, okay? Robert Chat says, I filed March the 30th and got an email Wednesday, and I quote, as you know, you're approved for $2,000 grant. We will disperse funds as soon as possible. Today, Sunday, I got decline letter for the loan as my credit score is too low. My credit hasn't been pulled. Family member got it with a 490 score. My friend across the country got it with a 512. I much higher score. I am a much higher score, and my business makes 4 to 6 times the revenue. Now I have to appeal the decision. Robert, you're in the same boat as I am. I have to appeal my decision because based on my credit. And I'm not for sure if it's, because of those 3 payments or whatever, or because I had those 2 things from Bank of America on there. But yeah, you're in the same boat. And that's unfortunate. You have the credit, you pay your taxes with your business. Your business is making 4 to 6 times more revenue than your friends and your family, and they still deny you. George put in his comments, he said, don't waste your time on tier 1, talk to a tier 2. And that's true. But, it all depends on who you get to on tier 2, because on some of my calls, I have called tier 2, and they act like they didn't know anything either. Viet224, I got my grant. Got the protocol on 5/16. He got the protocol on 5/16 2 times. First agent said denied with 404 credit score. Second call, agent denied, and I asked why. They don't know. I told them my credit score was above 650. Why tell me 404? Agent don't know why. The agent didn't know why they denied me. Basically, that's what he's saying. He's still waiting for his denial letter. They said don't know. They don't understand what EIDL meaning at all. No, they don't. Viet224, they do not know what the meaning of or the impact that they have with small business owners. I don't know where they got these people from, but they don't understand their impact. Walt Williams said, not sure, maybe it's a regional thing, but I'm still waiting for the portal as well. So many of you, I'm seeing many of you, Damian Randolph just got a decline letter in the SBA email this morning, very disappointing. Daniel Pham said, what can we do? I did too. So Damien, Miss Self-Spoiled, Daniel Pham, pull your credit report. They're going by Experian. I want you to pull your credit report and see what's on there. And maybe you could dispute it, or the people that's giving you the credit. And you're asking for goodwill. I'll link his information in the description section. It's called 850 Credit, I believe. But it's a free download. All the other stuff, he does have credit services, but it's a free download. And he also has a YouTube channel. But I'll link this information in there. In my letter, it told me I had 6 months, but I don't think the fund is going to last 6 months, you guys. So you got to act now. Derek Preston says, sorry to hear about your misfortune. If it makes you feel any better, I'm right here with you. I have had 5 emails from the SBA telling me the loan grant is being processed. I have also emailed my state senators. I have called the SBA and spoke with the Tier 2 representative over 50 times in the last 2 weeks. I applied on 4/6. I have been told my application was done correctly and I should receive the portal invite soon. However, the other 41 have told me it was still in processing. And the other 8 times I hung up on them when they couldn't answer my questions, or I persisted to talk to the superior. None of them have been able to tell me where my grant is. And one told me they didn't have a grant program on loan advance. Now, you know this person doesn't know what they're talking about. I have taken down almost every representative that I talked to along with their employee numbers. I have been nothing but polite and professional and has got me nothing. They have only funded 3%. You're absolutely right. I'll link that video of me going over how much funding that they released, and I released the documents to you in that description section. And allocated funds where we're given but $2.7 billion to create an inadequate system in staffing. You're absolutely right. They get enough money to hire competent people, but they refuse to hire competent people. What a joke. Thanks for sharing, and I hope you get funded soon. Ohio business owner. Thank you, Preston, for that detailed comment. You're absolutely right. They need to figure out what is going on. Eric Keaton says, I applied on April 1st. I haven't gotten nothing, not even a grant. Credit was checked, but no intentions of approval. Was based off my credit in the initial text of the SBA. They make things up as they went along. I get told the exact same thing. Just wait. That's some BS too. Just wait. You can't tell your creditors just wait. I mean, they've been patient. Like all my creditors been patient, but like with my vendors, I have stuff right now that people ordered from me, and they are calling in their notes. They are calling in their 30 day because I'm late on my 30-day payment. So I'm going to have customers pissed off at me because once they open them back up, they're going to ask me, Chawanne, where's my stuff? Well, I got to make the full payment. It's not no longer, 30-day payment. If you behind 30 days, well, I'm behind 60 days. They're going to want their stuff, and I don't blame them. So I'm just going to have some pissed off people with me. And what I've been doing is just trying to contact them and say, hey, no, I don't have your stuff yet, and try to buy some time. Roy Matoya is kind of, he teed off. Keep calling. He lists the number. Keep calling those efforts 3 to 4 times a day. Get firm. Don't give up. I've been going through the same shit finally and got an offer today. Even if it was a small offer. It was a small offer. Don't give up. Blessings coming your way soon. Thank you. Eric Keaton, I applied for April the 1st. Credit was checked, but no intentions of approval based off my credit. I live in Decatur, outskirts of Atlanta. My business has fallen apart, barely scraping up money to survive to pay the bills. Why has the government failed us? And he lists his Instagram too. Eric, I don't know why the government has failed us. When I was younger, I grew up humble beginnings. We grew up poor, and we were on assistance or whatever, government assistance. We got food stamps. My mom got a check, and it's not because she didn't work. She did work for, actually she worked for the government. She approved student loans, Anyway, that was her last job. But anyway, when I was growing up, I always thought, man, I would never depend on the government for shit. How can you let a person decide whether or not that you will succeed? Does that make any sense what I'm saying? How can you depend on a person? This is why I don't work for anybody. I have a story to tell about my last job too. But I'm not going to tell you right now. But when I was younger, I always used to think, like, how can you depend on the government for stuff? You know what I'm saying? Why would you want to do that? Why would anybody in their right mind depend on the government? And I looked at my mom like, I mean, very highly intelligent individual, but she did depend on the government for a lot of things. But she did the best thing she could, could. But my mom, she wasn't, she did just enough. You know what I'm saying? She was one of those people, she did just enough so she could get by and still collect, the food stamps that she needed to, feed 4 kids at the time. My other older siblings was going and out the house. So, but I always thought to myself, I would never live like this. I would never be dependent on like a Section 8. I would never have my kids depend on school luncheon. And this is, my thought process only came from me growing up poor. And so now I'm dependent on the government to say, please give me a loan because my business is failing. Because no one else is issuing out loans. Because they know they're not going to bank on the government. They can't issue out a loan because they don't know where the economy is going. So the government has failed us, Eric. Right now, and I'm going to do a tutorial. If you want to know about how can you make money without contacting people, and this is, I'm talking about e-commerce. Hey, if you got an e-commerce business and you're selling stuff from China, you need to really rethink that, okay? Because that's going to be, in matter of fact, if you have a Shopify store and use a Barlow or whatever, or Burlow or whatever it's called, if you notice, if their product is coming from China, they're not being shipped to the US. If you want to know how to identify what kind of products and services that you could sell online without meeting the customer, I'm gonna do a video. I set up my online store. I was gonna hire somebody to do it, but it was way out of my budget. But I listed a few items on there, and once I drop the video, I'm gonna talk about how much I made thus far since I opened the store until now. You gotta be creative, you guys. We know the economy is going to eventually get back to where it was, but we don't know when. And I've read some articles where they're talking about it'll take about 2 to 3 years for us to get kind of stable in the economy. But we'll have to prepare ourselves to do business in a different way. So I mean, I really appreciate all these comments. I know it's been a frustrating time. It's been a scary time. I appreciate all you watching me. And I also want to appreciate you for letting me hit 350 subscribers. I really appreciate every single one of you. Okay, so I am sending all my good to you, and I will talk to you soon.